Shout 2022, guys, was absolutely insane. And I want to do my best in this month's video newsletter to highlight all the amazing things we saw God do and things we heard He did from different youth pastors we've talked to and through the different testimonies we heard from the students and young adults that were in attendance. But before I do that, I want to highlight some other important things that I believe are worth mentioning and that you might be curious about. Number one, the team and I believe hosting the Shout at the Bongiorno Retreat Center in Carlisle was a great decision. Different youth pastors told us that they appreciated the fact that everything was in one location, the lodging, the food, and the event itself. Number two, adding Jessica Tate to the lineup was definitely a God thing. We heard many people comment on how much they loved her story and passion, and lots of people connected with her in many different ways. Number three, hiring Lineage Film Company to film and live stream the event was worth every single penny. The quality of the filming exceeded our expectations, and it's given us the opportunity to use what was filmed in creative ways to promote and advertise the Shout for next year. Not to mention, the live stream sessions are available for anyone to view on the Faith Like Birds YouTube channel. If you have not watched any of the sessions, I highly suggest you do so. Now students can relive that experience as often as they want. It'll also help those that did not attend to become familiar with the event and cause them, hopefully, to want to attend next year. Number four, although he was a last-minute addition, adding Dan Moeller Jr. to rap and perform at the event proved to be a great idea. His music and message really hyped up and touched a lot of the teens and young adults. Number five, our MC for the event, Booker Riddick, and I love this guy, did a spectacular job of transitioning between sessions, communicating housekeeping items, and helping people focus on and getting them excited for Jesus. We had a number of people who were in favor of the great job he did enthusiastically ask us, where did you find this guy? The truth is that he's a former youth pastor and a good friend of mine from the Williamsport area. Number six, worship was amazing. Tyler Hornberger and his team from Providence Church did a phenomenal job. There is no doubt in my mind that they were the team that was supposed to be there this year. Number seven, the return of Will Hart and Poppin' John proved again to be a great decision. Both of them, guys, have become a staple at the event, and the students just love them. Will Hart's services were powerful, and Poppin' John's performances are always just awe-inspiring and entertaining. Okay, now here's the good part. Let's talk about the things God did at this event. To be honest, I'm only able to speak to what it is I saw with my own two eyes and to the things I heard firsthand from others. I can only imagine that God did more than this newsletter will reveal. It's not an exaggeration to say that the event was filled with encounter after encounter after encounter. Students ran to the altar at the end of every session in hopes to experience God and be delivered from whatever ailed them. In fact, I would say that deliverance is the key word in the primary experience that those in attendance encountered. The power of God was present to deliver students from many different forms of bondage, with pornography being the most prominent, both in males and females. We've heard many reports from those that claim they felt something physically lift off them when we prayed for those specific chains to be broken. Students also reported being delivered from low self-esteem and the inability, to love themselves. I heard one out-of-town student comment about how she can now look in the mirror and like who she sees looking back at her. Students also claim to have been set free from depression and anxiety, but one of my favorite testimonies came from a small church out in Western Pennsylvania. The pastor of the church told me that one of their young people had been set free of witchcraft and lesbianism. Others were delivered from various addictions as well. What's most radical, is that these experiences weren't isolated instances. They weren't limited to just one or a couple of youth groups. These experiences appear to be the norm for every group that attended. And when I allow myself, guys, to step back and consider what God did, I'm overwhelmed by it. And to be honest, I'm not sure it's even fully sunk in yet. I also want to mention that there were a number of attendees that either dedicated or rededicated their life to Jesus on Sunday morning. One of the things we felt led to do by way of following up with the different groups and youth pastors that attended was to create a community called The Flock. The goal of this community is to come alongside these youth pastors and their students and offer encouragement and guidance and to help answer any questions they may have, because we want to continue to serve them. So we'll be doing this by hosting quarterly Zoom calls, and our first one is scheduled for Thursday, May 19th. We'll also be visiting and ministering in the fall to those groups that signed up to host us as well. Now, I want to bring this video newsletter to a close by thanking again those of you that prayed for and gave to this event. You can honestly tell that it was bathed in intercession. I also want to honor those of you that volunteered at the event. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for giving up your time and money to help the Shout be such an overwhelming success. Gang, your continued support of us greatly humbles me and the team. If you haven't yet become or decided to be a monthly partner, would you mind praying and asking God if that's something He'd have you do? I really believe that God wants to expand our team. I really believe that the Lord may be asking us to do 2 of these events a year, but that's going to require more staff. Every amount given, guys, is appreciated and cherished. You can become, if you so decide, a monthly partner or give a one-time donation by visiting faithlikeBirds.com/partner. In fact, would you mind praying that God would lead us in knowing when the right time is to hire that next person? Would you mind praying for greater finances to be available so that we can continue to expand our team and thereby expand our reach and effectiveness? And would you mind praying for all the students and adults that attended the Shout? Please pray that what they received remains and that their testimony causes others, those around them, to be set free and to fall in love with Jesus. The team and I hope you were touched and encouraged by what happened this year at the Shout. Our testimonies, as cliche as it sounds, really are your testimonies. Let them hit your heart, guys, and cause you to worship God all the more. Thanks for watching, guys. We love you and appreciate you so much.